Hello everyone, DM Gashbad here, and we are back with Ghostbusters the board game. We're still working on the first campaign, the Slimer situation, but we are up to Scenario 3. Scenario 3 sees the Ghostbusters trying to close two open gates in a park. The trick is, these are called tribute gates, and the only way that we can close them is by tossing a level 3 ghost, the Boogaloo Manifestation, into them. This might be a little bit of a challenge, as we have never successfully captured a Boogaloo Manifestation so far in this game. It's also a little bit more difficult because there are two open gates, but only one Boogaloo Manifestation on the board. We can, however, force another one to appear by tossing a total of 4 levels of ghosts into one of the open gates. If we do that, a Boogaloo Manifestation pops out, and we can toss ghosts into the gate like we were depositing them in the Ecto-1. We've got a reasonable number of ghosts starting on the board, but the number in the spirit world has been decreasing steadily. As before, I've painted all the ghosts that are starting on the board. As for the rest of them, not so much, although all the gruesome twosomes in the spirit world are painted. The layout of the board is a little unusual too. We're basically looking at 3 corridors. We start in the middle corridor on the left in the Ecto-1, and the 2 open gates are on the top and the bottom corridors on the left. But we can't get to those without driving all the way down to the right and making it through the small opening in the gates, which are each guarded by a gruesome twosome. As before, we're using the original 4 Ghostbusters, all of whom are at level 3 except for Ray, who has made it to level 4. We lose the game if we have to draw a ghost from the spirit world and there are none there. And as for the chaos die at the end of the round, if we roll an open gate, then a ghost emerges from that gate. But if we roll a closed gate, and there are a lot more closed gates than there are open gates, a ghost emerges from both of the open gates, and any Boogaloo Manifestation with line of sight to a Ghostbuster reacts as if he was missed by a proton stream. So that's about it. We're starting in the Ecto-1 on the center left, and we randomly determine who's going to go first, and it's going to be Pete Venkman. Dr. Venkman drives the Ecto down the street and then gets out. He's a little bit low on experience compared to the other Ghostbusters, so I'm going to clean up some of these easy-to-hit ghosts here while we move forward. So with the second action, he takes a shot at the Galloping Ghoul. The level 1 ghost only needs a 3+ to hit on the far side of the street. He misses and it runs off behind the fence and out of my line of sight. Bad luck, so I shoot at another ghoul and I miss again and it runs to the middle of the street. Not a great start for Venkman. Winston's up next. He gets out of the car and shows Dr. Venkman how it's done. Immediately captures the Galloping Ghoul right in front of him, then takes a shot at the one behind him. He misses though, and it charges straight through him, giving him a slime, taking away his final action for the round. Next up in the batting order is Ray. Ray gets out of the car and removes the slime token from Winston, getting himself an XP. He then takes a shot at that ghoul that Winston had missed. Now it's Ray's turn to miss. The Galloping Ghoul then charges through the Ecto-1, sliming all the Ghostbusters inside there, which is just Egon at this point. Ray still has one more action though, takes another shot, and this time manages to capture the ghoul. So then it's Egon's turn. Egon is down in action because he is slimed, but he drives the Ecto-1 down to the right-hand side of the board, gets out, and immediately captures the ghoul, hanging out by that closed gate in the lower right. That's all the Ghostbusters, so we roll the chaos die and we roll up a closed gate. So 2 ghouls emerge from the 2 open gates at the end, and the Boogaloo Manifestation at the far end of the street gets an activation, goes straight for Egon, makes contact with him, and gives him another slime token. Round 2 and Venkman starts us off. He moves twice down the street to get into contact with Egon and take away one of those slime tokens. Need our best shooter in the fight. Winston takes 2 move actions down the street and takes a shot at the gruesome twosome guarding the park entrance in the top right. Misses though, and the twosome staggers around a bit. It's Ray's turn to move up, and he takes a shot at the twosome as well. Again, not real accurate in the beginning of this game. Ray misses with 2 shots, and the twosome comes after him. But then Egon's up and he breaks our losing streak by taking 2 shots at the gruesome twosome guarding the park entrance to the south. Hits both times, captures the twosome. Nicely done, Egon. That brings him up to level 4. At level 4, if Spengler hits a ghost, then on his next combat action, that turn he can roll 2 dice and choose the highest one. End of the round, and the chaos die results in another closed gate. A Galloping Ghoul emerges from the north gate, but it emerges in the same place as another Galloping Ghoul, so both of those are removed, and we replace it with a gruesome twosome from off the table. Or at least we were supposed to. It looks like I actually replaced it with a gruesome twosome from the spirit world, which I wasn't supposed to do. That reduces the number of ghosts that we can draw from the spirit world, which is a big disadvantage. I'm going to make a couple of rules mistakes in this game. Some of them are going to work against us, some of them are going to work for us. I don't think that any of them are that big a deal, but I'm going to point them out when I catch them. Anyway, we're out of galloping ghouls in the spirit world, so another gruesome twosome is pulled from the spirit world in the south. And then finally that Boogaloo Manifestation gets another activation, and it goes crashing through both Egon and Winston, giving him a slime. So round 3 and Venkman's first. He's in the unusual situation of being surrounded by a bunch of slimed Ghostbusters, but he's actually okay. So he's going to, again, remove one slime token from Egon, and then take a shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation. We have to capture those. Anyway, he misses. In order to get to Pete, the Boogaloo has to go through either Winston or the Galloping Ghoul. Since it prefers to go on diagonals when approaching a Ghostbuster, it goes through Winston, but since Venkman's in contact with Winston, he uses his special ability to swap places with Winston, and he takes the slime token instead, but he does get an XP for doing that. Unfortunately, after the Boogaloo Manifestation moves towards the Ghostbusters on a miss, it then goes in a random direction, one more square, and ends up going straight back through Venkman again, giving him another slime token and ending his turn. Winston's next, and he's going to shoot at that same Boogaloo Manifestation. He does hit it, but again, he's got to make that same move towards Winston, who is now in Venkman's spot. So it ends up going through Pete again, giving him his third slime token. No actions for Pete next round unless someone is a nice team player and gets rid of one of those tokens for him. Unfortunately, Winston's second shot misses, so the Boogaloo Manifestation moves straight through him, giving Winston a slime token and ending his turn. Ray is next. We're all going to combine fire on that Boogaloo Manifestation. Ray hits him and puts another capture stream on him. One more to go and we've got him. Unfortunately, Ray's second shot misses. The Boogaloo slimes Ray. That's okay, Ray can remove that slime as a free action. And so for his third and final action, he shoots at the Boogaloo and misses again. Getting slimed, again, that one's going to stick this time. And then that random move, because of the miss, sends him back through Ray again, giving him a second slime token and bringing the Boogaloo far enough away so that it loses the capture stream that Winston had on him. We are struggling with our accuracy. Egon can't see the gruesome twosome behind that cloud of noxious vapors, so he removes a single slime token from Winston and then moves off to the right. End of the round, and the Chaos die gives us the Chaos symbol, so all the ghosts with line of sight to a Ghostbuster immediately react as if they were missed by a proton stream. That means the Boogaloo Manifestation gives Ray his third slime token, no actions for Ray next round. The gruesome twosome slimes Venkman again, but he's already at max, so I guess, fine. And the Galloping Ghoul runs off to the north. Next round, and all Dr. Venkman can do is remove a single slime token from himself. Winston still got 2 actions, though. He moves a bit away from the Boogaloo Manifestation, shoots at it, again misses. The Boogaloo Manifestation moves 2 squares towards him, ends up sliming him, one more random square. That's it for Winston's turn, and now the Boogaloo is far enough away from Ray that he loses his capture stream. This guy. Ray spends the whole round taking 1 slime token off of himself and then can remove a second one for free. And Egon moves to the north and misses the gruesome twosome. Man, we were doing so well last game. We get a little bit of a break on the Chaos die. We roll the square gate, which means that just a single ghost emerges from the gate in the south. Unfortunately, it's our last gruesome twosome who goes through the square with the Galloping Ghoul to end up at the bottom edge of the map. It's just the Boogaloo Manifestation left in the spirit world. We might have some problems. Venkman's only got a single action this round because of the 2 slime tokens, so he decides to take a shot at the gruesome twosome immediately to the right. He does manage to hit, though. Winston spends his whole turn removing a slime token from himself, but he does have a free action which he uses to deposit a Galloping Ghoul into the spirit world. So we're not going to lose if a closed gate is rolled at the end of the round. Ray uses his special ability to remove a slime token from himself for free. He moves up the street, then misses the gruesome twosome that Venkman just shot. It capers towards him, but Ray still has a final shot, which hits, capturing the gruesome twosome, getting him and Venkman an XP. Ray also has an ability where if he hits a ghost, he can remove a slime token from a Ghostbuster within line of sight, and he takes one away from Winston. Spengler's kind of playing his own game. He just moves to the north and captures the Galloping Ghoul up there. And sure enough, at the end of the round, we roll a closed gate, so a galloping ghoul emerges from the north, and the last ghost in the spirit world, the Boogaloo Manifestation, comes out in the south. And of course, that Boogaloo Manifestation at the end of the street gets to take a turn, and he slimes both Winston and Venkman. Just laser guided, this guy. So next round, and Venkman has 3 slime tokens on himself again, and so he's got to spend his whole turn scrubbing one off. Winston is bound and determined to stick to the mission objective, takes 2 shots at the Boogaloo Manifestation, missing once, hitting once. The Boogaloo ends up on the Ecto-1. It would have been nice to maneuver things so that we could have Winston deposit Ghost into the spirit world to get himself some XP, but we need to do it and just the turn order isn't working out for us. So Ray deposits his ghosts into the Ecto-1, so back they go into the spirit world. For his final action, he takes another shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation. This time he hits. He does get slimed again, but he also gets to remove a slime token from Dr. Venkman. And then we immediately go to Egon's turn, who moves up, takes a shot at that Boogaloo Manifestation, and captures it. Finally! Ray, Winston, and Egon all get an XP, and Egon has the captured Boogaloo that we need to feed into one of those gates. He also has 3 more ghosts. We might need to get those into the spirit world. Especially since we keep rolling those closed gates. A galloping ghoul emerges from the north gate, and another gruesome twosome emerges from the south. And the spirit world is empty again. Thankfully, with the Boogaloo Manifestation captured, we don't have to worry about him rampaging through our lines, so we have a little breathing room. As a free maneuver, Venkman takes all the ghosts from Egon, then moves down south and fires a stream at the gruesome twosome, hitting him. Winston then takes the ghosts from Venkman, have kind of a fire brigade system going on here. He moves to get a line of sight on the gruesome twosome, takes a shot at him, captures him. That puts Winston at level 4, so now whenever he hits a ghost, he can take a free move action. And since he just hit a ghost, he takes advantage of that ability to move back to the Ecto-1. Then as a free action, he deposits 2 galloping ghouls and 2 gruesome twosomes into the spirit world. With that, we've repopulated the spirit world and also cleared out this right-hand side of the map. With the Boogaloo Manifestation in our possession, we should be in a position to get one of these gates closed and then hopefully wrap up this scenario. Dr. Stan's turn. He removes one of his own slimes for free, then one from Venkman, getting him an XP. And then unfortunately we make a rules mistake. Ray goes and removes a slime from Egon. The mistake is that Ray can only, as an action, remove a slime from another Ghostbuster that he's adjacent to. We get it confused because now Ray has a special rule that if he hits a ghost, he can remove a slime from a Ghostbuster within line of sight. But that's the only time that he can remove slime at range. Otherwise, he still has to be adjacent. Well, we make the mistake this round, and we're going to make it again a couple times in this game. Sorry about that. I don't think it would have cost us the game. It would have just slowed us down. Anyway, for his final maneuver in the round, he gets in the Ecto-1. On his turn, Egon moves 2 move actions over to the open circle gate at the top of the map. He then takes a shot at a nearby galloping ghoul and captures it. Egon's been having a good ghost collecting day. The Chaos Die gets us a square, so we get 1 galloping ghoul emerging from the lower gate. In the first action of the next round, Venkman moves, then he removes a slime from Winston and gets in the Ecto-1. We'll go for a little car trip. Finally, Winston gets in the car and hauls off to the North Park to join Egon. Ray immediately jumps out of the car and takes a shot at a nearby galloping ghoul, hits it, captures it, and now Ray is level 5. He has maxed out his experience. The cool thing about level 5 is his ability affects all Ghostbusters. So now we can re-roll the movement die, the directional die, the one that determines which way a ghost runs, once per failed proton roll. So we have a little bit more control as to how these ghosts run around. But Ray still has 2 more actions, which he uses to miss the gruesome twosome twice. Egon's next at bat, though, he hits the gruesome twosome right in front of him, who of course splashes through him, giving him a slime token. Doesn't bother Egon, he just turns around, fires another shot, hits and captures the gruesome twosome. Alright, I feel like we're kind of getting back into the swing of things. For the Chaos Die, we roll the circle gate, which is the one right in front of us. A galloping ghoul emerges from there, but it forms onto the square where there already is another ghoul, and it forms another twosome. Venkman's up for the next round, gets out of the Ecto-1, takes a move action, misses a galloping ghoul nearby the gate. It scampers off in a random direction, but not far enough. Venkman takes another shot and finally captures himself a ghost. And then here's the man we were all waiting for. Winston comes out with his Boogaloo Manifestation captured in his ghost trap, uses his special ability to deposit a ghost in line of sight as a free action, drops it into that open circle gate, closing it halfway there. And just to top off an already good turn, he takes a move action, and then hits the nearby gruesome twosome twice, capturing it. Just man of the hour. Granted, this scenario was absolutely made for Winston, but he's doing real well. On Ray's turn, he just removes a slime from Egon, which is fine because he is adjacent to him. He gets in the car and deposits a ghost. On his turn, Egon doesn't really have anything to do but get in the Ecto-1, and the chaos die results in a galloping ghoul emerging from the only remaining gate in the south, forming a gruesome twosome. For his next turn, Pete Venkman moves to the side of the Ecto-1, gets himself in, and then drives the car over to Winston so he doesn't have to walk to get there. And then Winston jumps in the driver's seat and speeds all the way down to the south in front of that last remaining gate. That is a crowded area. I mean, besides the gate and all the ghosts surrounding it, we've also got those fences and that impassable area of that fallen tree right to the right of the Ecto-1. Unperturbed, Ray gets out of the car and sets about clearing himself some space. He immediately captures a ghoul that's blocking the Boogaloo Manifestation, but then takes a shot at the Boogaloo and misses, so it staggers towards him, but then he ends up hitting and putting a proton stream on him. On Egon's turn, he gets out of the car, misses the Boogaloo Manifestation, and then misses him again, ending up getting slimed. I think Egon probably should have gotten slimed twice in this encounter. I think we may have gotten confused and thought that on a miss, the Boogaloo Manifestation just moves one square towards the Ghostbuster that fired the shot, when actually he moves two. Chaos Die results in another closed gate, which is not surprising. There are 4 closed gates and only 1 open one. Anyway, a new gruesome twosome emerges from the square gate, and of course the Boogaloo Manifestation runs after Egon again. Egon takes another slime, and the Boogaloo Manifestation ends up on the hood of the Ecto-1, which gives a slime token to both of Venkman and Winston in the car. New round, and Venkman does not like the Ecto-1's new passenger, so he drives off with another rules mistake. You're not allowed to drive the Ecto-1 when there's a ghost on it. I don't think that really matters that much. Anyway, Venkman gets out, then tries to shoot the Boogaloo Manifestation, but even with us being able to re-roll that random distance, the Boogaloo Manifestation runs off the table. There goes our easiest means of closing this final gate. But we can't give up now. Winston gets out of the car and takes a shot at one of the central gruesome twosomes. Again, we're making a mistake. He shoots a gruesome twosome directly behind another gruesome twosome. The problem is that ghosts block line of sight. Ghostbusters don't block line of sight, but ghosts do. You can see why I get this confused. If you were to put a Ghostbuster and a ghost next to each other and you think, which one can you see through and which one you can't, you would assume it was the ghost, but that's not actually the way it works. It's not that big a deal. We could have actually taken a shot at the gruesome twosome immediately to the left of Venkman, and the same thing would have happened, which is the gruesome twosome runs towards Winston and immediately bumps into another gruesome twosome, forming a Boogaloo Manifestation. Alright, another shot at this. Winston then takes a shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation, hits it, that's great, and then as his free action moves a step back. On his turn, Ray removes a slime from Winston, which is cool because they are adjacent. Less cool is that he goes and removes a slime from Venkman and Egon, which he is not adjacent to. At least he's not getting XP for this. On his turn, the Boogaloo Manifestation is right next to Egon, but he is not afraid. Really, we don't have the option to back up and take a better shot because the Boogaloo Manifestation charges at us too when missed, and we can't have him either leave the board or get on the other side of these fences. So Egon just takes a shot at point blank range. He misses, gets slimed by the Boogaloo. That's 2 slime tokens on Egon. That ends his turn. New chaos die roll, new closed gate result. Another twosome emerges from that square gate. Dr. Venkman uses 2 actions to move to the top of this park, takes a shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation, manages to hit. Alright, just 1 more proton stream and we've captured him. Winston's turn next. He's been pretty good so far. He misses the shot. It moves through him, gives him a slime token, ends up on the south edge of the map. 3 in 8 chance it runs off the table. We get that direction, but we can re-roll it because of Dr. Stan's ability. It still runs off the table. Dang it! At this point, 9 ghosts have been removed from the game either because they ran off the table or because they merged into a new ghost. There's going to be a lot of complaints from this neighborhood. Anyway, through all of that, Winston took a slime token, and he uses his last action to move to the bottom of the map. In slightly better news, Ray captures a gruesome twosome, then removes a slime token from Egon. Egon removes a slime token from himself for the entirety of his round. But the good news is that with only one open gate, the maximum number of ghosts that can escape from the spirit world are 1. Which is good because we've left only one ghost in the spirit world, but it's a Boogaloo Manifestation. So, Chaos Die results in a ghost coming from the square gate. The Boogaloo Manifestation pops out in the lower left. It passes through that galloping ghoul, so it's right on the edge of the map, which isn't great. But we have a new target to complete the scenario. New round and Venkman's up. Venkman moves off to the left and then takes a shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation in the corner. And I have no idea what I was thinking here. There's no way he has line of sight. He's blocked by the open gate through the galloping ghoul. Just had a lapse there. He does, however, hit the Boogaloo, as illegitimate as the shot may have been, and he removes a slime token from Winston. Winston then moves off a little bit, takes a shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation. He also hits 2 capture streams on him. Now that's not bad, and Winston gets to take a free move action, backing up a little bit, takes another shot. This time he misses. Can't get that third hit. Story of this game. Ray has to move before taking a shot, otherwise the Boogaloo is just going to pass straight through him and go off the table. Again misses. The Boogaloo splashes through both Ray and Winston. Both of them get a slime token. Ray can immediately move his for free. We're not sure if we're going to be able to capture this guy. So Ray uses his final action to deposit a gruesome twosome and a galloping ghoul into the spirit world. That brings us to Egon. Egon wheels around to the Boogaloo Manifestation directly behind him, fires his proton stream, and finally hits 3 capture stream on the Boogaloo Manifestation, captures him. Because Venkman had a capture stream on him, he gets an XP and he goes up to level 4. So now when Venkman hits a ghost with the roll of a 6, he can take another free combat action against it, which is nice. And that's the end of the Ghostbuster turn over the Chaos Die, and a ghoul emerges from the square gate, as you would imagine. And this game is all but over. Pete Venkman is just going to try and grab some XP while he can. He tries to take a nice easy shot at a galloping ghoul and misses, of course, because that's just what he does. The ghoul runs off the table to join all its friends. He then goes and misses a gruesome twosome, which forms into a Boogaloo Manifestation. Okay. And just to round out a perfect set of dice rolls, Pete Venkman fires a shot at the Boogaloo Manifestation, again misses, but at least the Boogaloo Manifestation moves through Pete Venkman, gives him a slime token, which he gets an XP for. So he gets 1 out of all that. Having been forced to sit through all of that nonsense, it's Winston's turn, who's just going to go and win the game for us. He goes and gets the Boogaloo Manifestation from Egon, takes a move action, and then deposits it into the final gate, and it's done. Closes the gate, we win. So, that game was harder than the other 2. The difficulty is ramping up as we go on. On the plus side, I think our teamwork is actually getting pretty good. We're working more as a unit and using our abilities to coordinate actions to get the objectives done. Not as great with the rules mistakes. Seem to have made more of those in this game than I did in the previous 2. I think I just assumed I knew how the game was played and didn't want to check things while we were going. The Ghostbusters have more abilities, which I'm not checking up on. And of course, there's a couple weeks between each time we play this game because I, have to paint up new stuff. But I'll do better for the next game. It's going to be Scenario 4. It's going to be the last one in this campaign. We're going to fight Slimer himself. He's already painted. It looks nice. Hopefully, I'll play it relatively soon when all the rules are fresh in my mind. Thank you for watching this game. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, observations, or concerns, and I will see you on the next one.